Hello everyone, welcome to Redliner. This game is, pretty difficult, I'm gonna be honest. You need to learn quite a few different things. It's been a kind of crazy launch day, but end of launch day, um, here are what I'm looking at. Pretty basic stuff. I think the game's fun. I think, surprisingly, there's not too many problems with it that I've found so far. There's some annoying things, but this can kind of be boiled down to, like, just annoying ways to play the game or something. But today I want to give you a beginner's guide because a lot of people I run into in publics they're either just really confused or just really new. There are a few things to this game that if you paid attention to the tutorial, which I kind of didn't, they do tell you, but I'll give you a bit more of a rundown of what it actually looks like. All right, let's just get right into it. Alright, so this is the game. Currently, this is the Battlegrounds stage, but I'm in a private server, just me. So, for the general idea of the game, especially in like fights and such, is that in 1v1, it's just exactly what it sounds like. It'll be you and another person, just kind of going back and forth, doing all of this type of stuff, hitting each other, going for any type of shots, basic stuff. In twos, it gets a little bit more complicated. I think the only twos map is the Metro right now, but in twos, it's kind of depends on the players. Like, you could have a team that tries to solo out one person, or each person could try and go for an individual 1v1. That's kind of the style I like to do if I'm loading into twos, is try to go for individual 1v1s, and then if either your teammate kills somebody or you kill them, both of you solo in on that last guy to try and get a free stock. Pretty decent, and FFA is a little bit weird. I'll show you a clip right about now of what a normal FFA game looks like, but essentially it is literally just mosquitoes flying at each other, occasionally hitting each other. Crazy shit, okay? But you can get a general gist of the game. Like, if I go back over to here, I'm level 15 right now, right here. I probably have 3, 4, maybe 5 hours on the game, if I'm being generous. But in that time, I spent a good bit of time in the training, learning how the movement works, and most importantly, the idea of how your little bar at the top works. That's basically just like your stagger bar, or poise is the word I'm looking for. So let's actually start off with this movement. See, movement is a little bit strange in this, in that, like, you see people, you know, they do all of this stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, this seems pretty damn easy and cool. And I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world, don't get me wrong, you can get this down in 10 minutes. But essentially, the big thing that I did especially is I played Ultra Kill a lot. So what I do when I started is I try to dash and then slide out of it, and I just be doing this all the time. And this seems good, right? Especially if someone has like a revolver, they can't hit the shit out of you. That seems decent. But that comes in with the stagger bar. I believe it's called I don't really remember what it's called. I'm going to be calling it your poise for this. Essentially, your poise is calculated kind of weird. When two people slash at just about the same time, a clash will happen. When two swords clash with each other, if you look at the bottom is units per second. You have my speed. Basic walking is 40. You move 40 units per second. Oh, if you see it change while I'm turning, we'll get that. We'll get there. But most of the time, people are going to be doing a zip line and slide combo, like this. That puts you at 100. Now, the way that this works is it takes both of the players' speeds and clashes them together. And the difference, or if someone has 40 and someone has 100, then 60, that's the difference, will be applied to your poise meter. And if that poise meter fills out, then you'll start glowing red and you won't be able to attack or parry at all. Instability, that's what it's called. But you'll destabilize, and you won't be able to attack or parry, which is not great. It's actually not a full kill, but we'll get there in a minute. But how do you move incredibly quick? Well, if I'm being honest, don't use your dashes for basic sliding around. Like, I'm barely ever holding my shift key, ever, if I'm just moving around. Your right click, which is the basic, this is going to be your grapple for a bit. And just holding crouch here so that I'm sliding around, and you can hold space. You don't have to, like, individually hit that. You can just hold space. But the important thing is this grappling hook. Sends you so quickly in a way. I believe you cap out at 1... Is it 110? Can you go faster than that? Maybe for a split second. But generally, you're going to want to try and stay around the 100 area. Another important thing when you're sliding is when you're moving really quickly, I thought often that you had to hold either A or D when you're turning around a corner or something. But when you're B-hopping, it's just W and your mouse. Like, actually, you can just... You don't want to do it too quickly, because then you'll lose speed. But you can do a full 180 without losing much speed. Because when you strafe in this game... Look, alright. Look at the aim rate. Alright? Sliding normally. We're going. Now, if I start turning side to side, I start gaining more velocity. This is very important, and this is going to be, like, you're going to be doing this all the time. This is everything to this game, is keeping that speed extremely high. The only time you technically wouldn't is sometimes people have a playstyle where they'll just sit still and they'll just parry you. And if they don't, like, they just keep sitting here trying to parry you every time, what I'll usually do is I'll come in and I'll just stop right about where I am, or I'll use a dash backwards to try and stop myself. And then this is where you could do all of this kind of like slide-in bullshit. And if you're just spamming this, you can get away with just dealing ticks of 20 after 20 after 20. Oof. And the final part that I can cover that isn't as useful is there is wall running. If you are not sliding and you go parallel to a wall and hit your jump button, you'll wall run. This isn't the most useful thing in the world, but sometimes you can use it as a quick mix-up option. It's good for a quick little jump. If you're heading up to a corner, you can kind of try to quick turn from it. You know what you're doing. It's a little bit more difficult than that, but yeah, mostly this sliding B-hopping combo with your grappling hook is going to be your best combo. And the last thing I have to talk about is quick turning. For a quick turn, I let go of all movement keys and just turn backwards. Turn backwards. You don't even have to do that half of the time. You can just turn if you need to, but if you just need an instant turn back, this works insanely well. You keep basically the same speed and fly back and forth. And you can do this a lot. Like, as long as you're not doing crazy stupid shit, like if you have 2 grapples left, a great mix-up is just here, here. And you hit them both times, because you don't lose speed. You're still, even though you're not covering the distance, you're still going 100 units a second compared to their, probably, if they're standing still or just like casually walking around, they're going to be 30 to 40. That's still going to be doing insane damage to their stagger. Next, getting into a bit of the fighting here. Nice. Fighting is kind of broken up into, the main gist of it is like mosquito fighting. You're going to be jousting back and forth. I'll have a clip here of kind of what that looks like. But you're going to be kind of jousting back and forth at each other, trying to trade blows. And trading blows is good. Both of you are clashing. You're trying to see who can just get that little bit of extra speed so that you can start building up stagger. And then usually your gun can be used as a bit of a mix-up. It's not really a spacing tool. I've seen a lot of people try and use it as a spacing tool, but it's not a traditional weapon. It does a lot of damage and can be parried. Alright, let's actually talk about parrying for a minute. See, parrying is kind of weird. If you parry once, instability goes up. Pretty good if you can hit. Because anytime you use your gun, a huge flash will appear, and then you can parry it, It's a good way to parry bullets. But there's other ways to simply dodge the bullet. Say you're flying around a good bit, and you see a glare out of the corner of your eye from your opponent, assuming you're in a 1v1. You see a glare out of your eye, meaning they're going to fire at you. If you have the time, parry them. It's easy, it's simple, it's kind of the correct way to do things. But if you're not, what you can instead do is try to fake them out with your dodges. You can dodge quickly, one side, here, here. You can even use this grapple. Try and do some bullshit. Because if they can't hit you with the bullet isn't going to hit you. You know? Okay, let's talk about weapon types for a moment. The revolver is pretty simple. Most people are going to be running either the revolver or the Phoenix here. Both of these are pretty good, honestly. Every gun is decent. Maybe not the shotgun. The shotgun's a little weird. But essentially, when it comes to this revolver here, you have one short flash and then you hit. It's not any kind of tool that you're going to use for range or anything. It is kind of just a damage buffer or a way to catch people off guard, sort of like a mix-up. Say you're flying by right after you have one of your clashes or something, and you just quickly flash you just flash a revolver shot at them, it forces them into a parry moment. Or what you could do sometimes is slash does 20 damage. This does 60. So you could fly at someone and use your revolver. That's another somewhat important thing. Hold on, let me drop in here and just show you. Over. So let me show you. See, when you're flying around and you use your slash, you can't parry. This is really important. If you want to get off a shot for damage, what you can probably do is fly at your opponent, and then a normal slash does 20 damage, alright? If your gun does 60, what you could do is simply fly at them and pull the gun last second, because when they're slashing, you can't parry. Like, listen to this, alright? I'm going to slash and then spam my parry bind. You see the difference there. And you can get parry fatigue too if you're kind of a bum. But, yeah, you can't slash and parry at the same time. So it is a really good way to get off an early bullet. Getting back up here, the Phoenix is difficult to deal with. It's a giant explosion that works really well in FFA. I've yet to run into anyone using it in the main game, which is pretty good, honestly. I personally don't like it. I think it's a little bit iffy. It hits a lot of people at once and launches you into the air, in which you can grapple onto somebody and get a pretty free hit from it. But overall, all you want to do is just make sure you're parrying that shot. It's really hard to dodge one of their explosions. It kind of forces you into a parry situation and kind of feels like a noob stomp weapon, but eventually, once you can understand the golden glow, it's pretty simple. The shotgun is a little weird. The shotgun provides a little bit of mobility, so if someone's using a shotgun, you really want to be careful of really odd movements. In this game, it seems kind of weird because everyone's moving really quickly, but everyone's moving really quickly the same way. The shotgun is the only other way that is a gun that can move you. So it leads to some kind of wacky things. People can hit some nuts shots, and most importantly, if they're point blank and hit you with this thing, that's gonna be 80 fucking damage. Like, these things hurt. Especially if you've already gotten hit with a few slashes. They're difficult. The good thing is that it's really difficult to use. And the sniper. The sniper is terrifying. But I really like it. The sniper's main gimmick is it's basically just a revolver, but charges up faster and deals significantly more damage. Or charges up slower, does significantly more damage. It is very difficult to use, but if you have been, like, tickled in a fight, and you get hit with this, you're just dead. If someone's good with this, then it's scary. And another really scary thing is, I don't think I have a clip for it, but if someone flies at you with if someone pulls out their sniper, there's going to be a glare, and then if you hit parry right when that glare shows up, you're not gonna parry the bullet. That parry or the glint lasts much longer than the parry window, so you have to wait until you're pretty damn sure. I usually wait about like half a second after I see the glint before parrying, so that I can catch the actual bullet. But it is definitely a scary but very, very fun gun. I'd say the most fun to go against a revolver and sniper here. These two are a bit more of the wacky odd picks, but they're pretty fun odd picks. You know what to do with them. Hello again. For the final segment of this video, I would like to review a couple fights that I have, as you can see right down here. Fights aren't too long, generally, but just to go over some general structure and to give some examples for what I've been saying. And let's just start. So I just came off of a kill, or I just came off of dying. So I'm flying into... Oh, I'm just flying around a bit, and I see this guy. I catch him out of the corner of my eye back here a good bit, when I'm just zipping around. And... Oh, no. When I'm just moving around, I see him right there. So, next, I'm flying back at him here for a quick clash, in which I got a kill off them, I suppose. But now this guy's here. And from here, I try and go to a clash, and he doesn't. Instead, he's going to go up here. I already had my gun open, so I'm just going to try and hit him. I miss. But I notice here that he's flying outwards because the way that he's looking when he lands... Oh my god, can this work, please? When he hits this wall, he's looking in this general direction, so he thinks I'm still here. So I move to the right after this shot to then try and connect another shot, which I do, and then dash directly towards him. Oh, I believe that was a clash there. So then I dash back towards him and pop another bullet, securing myself the kill. This is an example of an FFA fight. Usually they tend to go like this. And let me pull up another clip here. All right. I'm going to mute this clip so that you don't have to actually hear me. But this is a 1v1, all right? Now, this person I've already noticed isn't great. That's the reason I'm making this video. If this person sees this video, good job. I compliment you a few times in this. I'm not going to have that in the background, though, because I'm already going to be talking here. So, he flies towards me there, or I fly towards him directly right at this beginning, because I know that he has a habit of overusing his guns. The second he gets a bullet, he is just shooting that right at me. I know that we traded a couple blows there, so now he has a bullet. And if someone is pulling out their gun and you hit them, you can stagger them out of it. So I knew that. I flashed towards him and I hit him. He doesn't have his gun anymore, so we're going to dash at each other here. Try to hit one of those. He tries to hit another shot, but he misses completely on his own. I'm going to be honest. I could have parried there. I should have taken a hit, but he didn't have the aim to do so. Next, I fly at him. We try to trade. We instead trade health. Here's a slight thing I'd like to talk about. Sometimes latency, it's not even if you're facing a laggy target, it's just how fast you're moving in the game. But sometimes if you both M1 too late, you'll just end up damaging each other. This is a little bit of a problem in my opinion due to the fact that a lot of this game works off of speed and that you need to maintain a lot of speed as an actual skill gap. When you're just trading blows, you're just dealing damage regardless of speed, and it actually saves them from the potential stun here. And this clip is a great showcase of why stun is horrible for you. See, now I whiff a shot, I fly directly towards him, and I know at this point he's given up on trying to clash me, so he's just trying to get parries off so he could stay alive. That's a technique you can use just kind of to reset yourself. I don't blame him for it. As you can see here, I'm dashing very quickly back and forth at him and away from him. using my grappling hook often. I get a shot off there, we clash, and then I hear it. There's a very distinct sound when you stagger somebody in this game. I hear it, I act on it, and get a quick 20 damage off my first M1. And then I see him in the sky, I immediately pull up the gun. I knew he was heading directly up. Boom, I connect my first shot and he flies down. Usually, when somebody's shot, they start kind of panicking and scattering around. I noticed he didn't do that, and specifically from where he's at, it doesn't matter at all, no matter where he dashes. Like, he dashes upwards and out of here to try and connect that, and it's just boom, and that's a stock. Alright, this will be the final clip I'll be reviewing with you, and this is a special one for two reasons. One, we're going to be having sound. I thought I'd treat you tonight. And two, this is probably my 5th game ever. The game had a sort of problem on day one where queues completely broke for roughly an hour and a half, so I left to go get dinner. And when I came back, queues still weren't working. So, I hopped into training. I learned the movement, I learned the technique, I learned the tech. I got into a battlegrounds, free-for-all. I think, actually, yeah, it's called the battleground. I've just been calling it free-for-all. I got into a free-for-all. I started learning. I started hitting some crazy stuff. And then I got back into 1v1s. And I realized it. All that skill translated over. Honestly, I'd recommend following that path. It's pretty decent. FFAs are a good way to teach you. It's just constant fighting. But let's start with this clip, alright? So, starting first, I connect a juicy hit because this person is in stagger already. This is 80 damage. I connected one M1 and a revolver shot. Fly forward, and I try to connect another. I get greedy, fall off. Now I'm sitting here recovering. That's one thing about the rooftops map. It's got to be careful with your speed. If you fall off, it's pretty easy to recover, but as you'll see in a moment, it can sometimes actually work against you. So, right there, I try to get a shot off. I don't know he's off the building, but it is very good to get shots when people are coming up the building because they'll have the glare, but it's really difficult to notice that because they're already panicking, like, oh shit, I'm going to fall into the void. So I try and get a cheeky shot off. I thought I was just going to do that normally. Sometimes shots are just a good way to mix up the overall flow, disrupt people. If he was flying towards me, I could have gotten him with that. So that was kind of just a spook shot, you know? So I fly towards him. He tries to hit that parry. That was a late parry on the bullet there. I connect one M1, and then I take a little bit of damage here because I'm a chud muffin. But then I immediately fly directly out. He flies off the map here, and then it clicks with me. I'm going to dash backwards, and I'm going to pull out the revolver. Why? Because of the exact thing I just told you to do. Alright? He's going to be distracted. He's going to be flying up, and I'm going to be able to connect this shot, right? Dash back. Revolver. And I let out a little quip because, in reality, I'm just a Guilty Gear character trapped in a body of a normal mortal being. I am born to be sole bad guy, but instead I make YouTube videos. Thank you for watching today's video. It has been wonderful to be playing this game on day one. I waited a little while for it, and honestly, it's really fun. I'm seeing a lot of people quit because they say the game is, oh, it's a little too hard or something, and I mean, I kind of get that to a point, but at the same time, I'd like more people to experience how fun this game actually is. So I figured I'd actually make this guide for those people. But if you've enjoyed it, please make sure to like, subscribe. Honestly, I think it'd be kind of cool to become a content creator for this game. So if you have any other content you'd like to see made about this, just let me know. It is an extremely fun game, and I hope you all have a wonderful experience. Goodbye.